sound, you're out of luck. The reason that you had to care, the traffic is stuck. You're not moving anywhere. You thought you found a friend to take you out of this place, someone you could lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. The sky falls, feeling like it's a beautiful day. So you're on the road, but you got no destination. You're in the mud, in the maze of your imagination. You're loving this town. And even if that doesn't ring true, it's been all over, and it's been only you. Don't let it get away, a beautiful day. Touch me, take me to that other place. Teach me. I know I'm not a hopeless case, but what you don't have, you don't need it now. What you don't know, you can keep it somehow. What you don't have, you don't need it now. Don't need it now. It was a beautiful day.
Good morning, Simplicity. Obviously, this morning we are not going to be here, and so Jamie and I came up because that's what we do. We love Jesus enough to come up when there's ice on the roads. But we've had to cancel today because of we just want you to be safe. Our parking lot out there is completely just covered in ice, and I know a lot of the roads are dangerous, so some of them are fine, some of them are not, and we just want you to be safe. So what I want to do quickly is just give a thought that we can have this week for us. I hope you'll watch this today or sometime you're watching it here this week. I hope that this thought will stay with you. And so in the lectionary reading, in the gospel lesson today for March 3rd, this is the 3rd, right, Jamie?
Yep.
Okay. In Luke, it is the story of where Jesus takes Peter, James, and John. They go up onto the mountain, and then Moses and Elijah show up, and they're talking to Jesus. And if you remember the story, and it's just like this incredible thing. And so it's kind of this symbolic deal of the law, right, with Moses, the prophets with Elijah, and then Jesus, all right, the gospel, the embodiment of God incarnate on the world. Finally, the cosmic Christ has shown up. And so this is an unbelievable thing that Peter, James, and John witness. And there's this one verse that I think is so amazing that says here, when Peter sees this, he sees Moses and Elijah and Jesus, and they're talking. Peter says this to Jesus. He says, "Master, it is good for us to be here. Let us make 3 dwellings, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah," not knowing what he was really saying. Meaning, there is this kind of attitude. So Peter has this experience. And he sees this amazing thing. And Peter wants to camp out right there. He says, let's make 3 dwellings. Let's just stay here on this mountain. Let's just, one for Moses, one for Jesus, one for Elijah. We're just going to hang out. This is the best they can ever be. This is the most amazing thing. Let's just stay here. Let's dwell here. Let's camp out here forever. And that wasn't the plan of God, right? That wasn't the plan of Moses, the law, the Torah. That wasn't the plan of Elijah or the prophets. That wasn't the plan of Jesus. Jesus and what God is doing in the world is not, we're going to have a mountaintop experience and then we're just going to camp out, all right? That's not ever been the plan of God. The plan of God is that this happens and then we're going to keep on going, and then we're going to keep on going, and then we're going to keep on going. We're never going to just stop somewhere and say, this is it. This is it. Let's camp out right here. It can't get any better. Well, the problem with that is that is just not the heart of God. The heart of God is that we're going to go, there's a scripture that says somewhere, it says, I think Paul writes it, that we're going to go from glory to glory. All right? There's this kind of idea that we're going to go from one experience to another experience. We're going to go from one moment to another moment. We're going to go from one experience of God to another experience of God. It never just stays dormant and in one place. God is always moving us. God is always talking to us. God is always pushing us. God is always pulling us. God is always stopping us. God is always thrusting us into another direction. And so personally and as a church, as Simplicity, I hope that we will never get to the place where we say, this is it. This is it. Let's build something here and stay here and never do anything else. I pray that we never see it that way. I pray we always say, you know what? This was so awesome. I wonder what's going to be next. I wonder what is next. And let's pray for what's next. Let's hope for what's next. Let's not camp out and say, I only want it to be like this, and I hope it never changes. That's the worst thing that we could do as a believer, as a follower, as a disciple, as a church, is to say, I hope it never changes. No, we've got to always hope that God is speaking and challenging us, and we're moving from glory to glory, from one experience to the next experience in God. All right? Are you with me? So, I pray this week, as you hear this, as you think about this, as you pray about this, as you meditate on this, that you will recognize where you are, where you've come from, and also be praying about what's next. Where are we going? Let's not build and camp out in one spot. All right? I love you guys. I love you. I hope that helps you. I want to remind you of a couple of things that are coming up. Obviously, this week we had to cancel, and Jonathan Martin, my good friend and an unbelievable man and a great speaker, a writer. Man, this guy is so good. We had to cancel today because of this weather, and I didn't want to push through and not have anybody be able to be here and see him on this horrible weather day. So Jonathan Martin will come in the 17th, in 2 weeks. So let me tell you what's coming up. Next week, on the 10th, right here at Simplicity, Sarah Cunningham, who is here locally in Oklahoma City, who has started a ministry, a 501c3 that is called Free Mom Hugs, she's going to be sharing her story next week on the 10th here at Simplicity. I promise you don't want to miss that Sunday, okay? It is going to be incredible. I've heard some of her story. I've met her several times. She is a wonderful woman. She's going to be talking about her journey from her son coming out as homosexual and her journey as being a mom that was raised in a conservative church background, learning what do I do with this? How do I love this son? And now she has done unbelievable ministry to the LGBTQ community here in Oklahoma and now even around the world. You may have seen her on the Today Show and stuff like that, or Good Morning America, whatever it was. But Sarah Cunningham next week, the 10th. Please be here at 10:30. It's going to be, be here early. You're going to need to find seats. And then on the 17th, Jonathan Martin will be. So that the next 2 weeks are going to be phenomenal. They're going to be great. and we're probably going to want to camp out in those moments, but we're just going to let them push us to the next thing. So next week, Sarah Cunningham. 17th, Jonathan Martin. Please do not miss Simplicity the next 2 weeks. I love you guys. I'll see you then.